Okay,
Hey guys, Soccer Boy here. So, I'm just gonna talk about PewDiePie. Yes, the main in the thumbnail, biggest individual YouTuber for now on YouTube. And he hasn't posted in 3 weeks. His last video was before 2022, so he hasn't uploaded for 25 days, or 26 when this comes out, so just where is he? Well, I've thought of just 3 options, or, well, 4 actually, and like, I'm gonna do by likely to least, well, less likely to most likely. So if you're new here, please do like and subscribe and enjoy the video. The least likely reason could be that, like, he's just dead. Who knows, he could have just died. Like, that's, there's reason why it's the least likely option, is just because dead PewDiePie. But yeah, on to the second least likely. Now, the second least likely reason is just, like, he was kidnapped or something, which, like him being dead is less likely than him getting kidnapped. Like, he is high profile, and to my knowledge, he doesn't have any bodyguards, so it would just make sense somewhat. But yeah, on to the first semi-likely reason. So the second most likely thing that I think happened is he actually ended up being able to move to Japan. Like, if you look at one of his more recent uploads, which I will just put on screen, like, it says he wanted to move to Japan, and then, like, I watched it, and he said they couldn't. But thing is, like, what they ended up being able to move to Japan during 2022, and that could explain why he's been gone, he's been moving. And it makes a lot of sense if you think about it. But now on to the most likely reason. Okay, so the most likely option that I can think of is he just wanted to have a break from YouTube. And it makes sense, like, his channel's really big, he was uploading a whole lot, and, like, I can see just definitely why he stopped. And, like, he's done a couple streams, but, like, still, he hasn't uploaded, so, like, I don't know, could be a mix between.
Start your own print-on-demand merch store today by heading to Shopify.com and sign up for a free trial. With print-on-demand, you don't need to buy any inventory up front, print any product.
So today we're speedrunning through Plague Inc., which might hit a little too close to home right now, but whatever. Now the category that we're going to be doing is all the different plague types. We're starting with fungus, and then we're going to move on from there. And I will show you really quick what we do for the genetic code. These are basically the power-ups you can give your plague. You have to unlock each of them, but we're going to start right here. We have the ATP boost, which gives you bonus DNA at the beginning. DNA is what you use to buy different symptoms and things like that, so that's definitely important. We have Aquasite, which increases the chance of the plague spreading by sea. We have Pathostasis, which makes sure ability costs don't increase as you buy more, and this will be switched over to Symptostasis for the different kinds of plagues, but for right now we have it here. We have Darwinist, which increases the chance of your plague mutating, and we have Extremophile, which gives your plague a minor bonus in all the different environments. So with all that out of the way, we can get started with the speedrun, but we don't start the timer until we actually go and start the plague. So before that, we can start preparing, and the first thing we want to prepare with is the Spore Burst. These are overpowered, and I'll show you why now as we start our speedrun. Yeah, you can see our plague is spread a bit. So what these do is they spread random bursts of the plague everywhere in the world. And this is why we get the one that makes sure your abilities don't cost more money. And then right after that, we're going to try to get some more transmission ways up. Our main ways are going to be through the water and through the air. So you can see there are different airplanes and boats that go throughout. We can spread the plague using those. And that's why we upgrade the transmission right there, so we can get some more of those. So we're going to get some more air. And now we have to focus a little bit more on symptoms. We don't want to go into too lethal of symptoms just yet, because as you get more lethal symptoms, more countries focus on making a cure. But you also don't want to wait too long, so it is kind of like an interesting place to go in between. We have most of the world infected right now. I would like it to travel a tiny bit more before we go full in on all of the different symptoms, but you know, might as well give some paralysis. First death in the UK, that's all right with me. There's going to be plenty more of them. The good thing is because our spore burst went to Iceland right away, Iceland's really hard to get your plague into, so we actually got really lucky with this RNG and we can start our killing a lot earlier. There are a few places like Sweden, which is doing all right. Things are going to get much worse for Sweden in just a second. Different places are falling into anarchy. There are no more healthy people in the world. Yeah, it's time for the end of our first little run. And there we go. That's pretty much the end of what we need to do. People are dying. Our lethality is pretty good. We killed a good amount of people. Okay, last few people, just die. You're not going to get a cure. It's okay. And there we go. Okay, excuse me. Oh, I was looking at a certain country instead of the world, so I was like, shouldn't everybody be dead by now? It took a little bit longer than I thought it was just going to, but that's okay. We got everybody, and now we can move on. So the second plague we're going to go to is the Prion, and like I said before, we're going to switch this one over to our Symptostasis. That's going to make sure symptom costs don't go up, and symptoms are a lot more important for all the different kinds of plagues. While for the first one, we could just kind of cheat the system, these other ones we actually have to work at it. We have to transmit the plague in a way that actually makes sense, which is kind of sad for me, but our main ways, like I said, are going to be focusing on air travel and water travel. We're also going to make sure we have plenty of these different non-lethal symptoms, because right now we just want to spread it. We don't want to kill anybody, because then the cure is going to come a lot faster. And like I said before, Greenland is the place we're worried about the most. So we're going to focus a lot on water travel, because Greenland only has that one little port you can get into. So we need one country to just infiltrate into Greenland, and then we're pretty much set for the rest of the run. This is a pretty interesting game to actually go ahead and speedrun, because you're constantly on the move. You don't pause the game at all, and you want to make sure you don't make any mistakes, but it is a scary thing. I'm going to wait a little bit until I infect a couple more people before we try to get some more lethal symptoms. I think every country's infected now, so it makes sense to start focusing on some lethality. Yeah, people are not going to be too happy about this, and people are going to start focusing on the cure because it is actually killing a lot of people. But as you saw right there, everybody is infected with it. We don't really have to worry about the cure. They're not even close to being done with it, and now it's just about killing everybody as fast as possible. What I'm actually going to do is remove some of the infectivity, because we're not worried about that, and then we can use that on different ways to kill people. It was a nice try, humanity, but it really didn't work out too well. And there we go. That is going to be our second plague, and now we can move on to the next one. So for our next one, we're going to do the nanovirus, which is a really interesting type of plague. The reason behind that is people start studying it and trying to develop a cure for it right away. Like literally right as it starts being a thing, people are like, okay, we got to stop this thing, which makes sense because it's a nanovirus. But you can see they're already up to 7%. It's something you worry about a little bit, but as long as you're being smart about it, we're using our code fragment interceptions to make the spread of it stop a little bit. It's not too much of a trouble as long as you're a bit smart about it. We just got to make sure it spreads pretty fast, and then the resistance goes down a lot. Gonna make sure we get all these different kinds of bubbles, get some more places to spread it, make sure we have our cold resistance, because again, that's really important for Greenland, and also make sure our transmission goes up by sea. Yeah, a lot of stuff is happening. They aren't gonna be doing too well in just a second. You can see humanity's really trying. They're 50% done with the cure, but now I'm gonna mutate it a bit to make sure, yeah, that doesn't really happen anymore. Okay, I'm trying to get all these different things while focusing on everything. There's a lot going on in this game at one point, and you gotta make sure that like the cure doesn't happen too fast. You gotta make sure everything's working. You gotta make sure you're actually killing people. It's just a lot to worry about. But it looks like the cure has officially stopped its movement. I mean, it's going up a little bit here and there, but yeah, they really did try. I mean, it was a good try. They started really early, they started often, and they almost had me, but yeah, now it's time to just go ahead and kill everybody. And yeah, no healthy people left on the world. Cure percent is now 44. It went down by 6. We pretty much destroyed humanity, or I guess not even pretty much, we just did. And for our next one, we're going to be going to bioweapon. Bioweapon's also a pretty interesting one, because I mean, it's a bioweapon. Well, with all our abilities and all the different things we have going for us, of course, I'm not too worried about it. You can see we're pretty much always doing the same sequence of events. We're starting in Saudi Arabia, we're getting transmission through the water and the air, and then we're getting the same couple of upgrades on the symptoms. There is a little bit of difference on some of these, and there are ways to make them go just a tiny bit faster here and there. But to be honest, it's just kind of the same thing for the most part. And yep, that is a big amount of points. I'm gonna get some more good stuff for that. Thank you. I do feel bad for Saudi Arabia because we're literally just bullying them every single time we start there. It is what it is. I can't stop it. It's just who I am. I'm a speedrunner, and I guess now a world ender. So that's another thing I can add to my resume. Okay, I'm like confused on what I should get. I guess we should start getting some lethality up there, because we have infected most of the world. We got Greenland, which of course, like I always say, is the one I'm most worried about. Pretty much all the places we need to be infected are getting infected. And yeah, they're gonna start their global research on looking for a cure. It's not gonna really work out for you. You tried. It was a good try. You were almost able to do it. But you know, almost isn't actually making it there. No more healthy people out in the world. That is music to my ears. Okay, please do not take that out of context. And I guess we can increase some of our abilities, but at this point, it doesn't really matter. It's set to eradicate humans. It is over. That is going to be our next one. And now we only have 3 different plays we have to do. We're going to start with the parasite one. This one's actually a little bit worrying. I've actually lost some runs to the parasite because it's just a weird one to do. With all of these, you just got to be a little bit careful about. You can't get lazy with it. You got to make sure you're doing it the correct way. Otherwise, things are going to start going bad. Our main worry is people getting the cure out early. We just got to make sure we're only getting the non-lethal stuff. We got to act like we're an innocent virus, and then, you know, we'll show our true colors in a bit. It's kind of fun just clicking on the different buttons that come up. It's kind of like whack-a-mole, but, you know, with an iPad. I might just be satisfied with very simple things. That could also be it. Oh, people are starting to work on the cure. Well, what happens if I use symbiosis? Now people don't even notice it's happening to them. People are just like, yeah, I always throw up 3 times a day. That's just normal for me. Okay, the cure is so close to getting finished. I'm actually really worried about this. This might have been a lost run. I might have messed this up again. Yep, that happened. Well, we lost. I'm gonna do another run and then skip to the parasite part, so I'll see you then. So I finally got back to parasite and I realized what I did wrong. I was just playing it wrong. So for parasite, you're not just supposed to try to use non-lethal methods. You want to use lethal methods. Those are the best ways of spreading it around. So I just completely was doing it the wrong way. Of course, we do want to infect a good amount of people first, but we're going to get there in just a second. Thank you for all of these. I appreciate it, countries. Thank you for getting infected. For me. We just have to make sure we don't let people develop a cure, and the only way to do that is by not letting them live. You know, you gotta think about it that way. People can't develop cures if they're not alive. So yeah, we want to make sure our lethality is good, because the more people sick, the more people dying, the less people can work on the cure. And we do hope that everyone will get infected. It looks like Canada's the last big area that's kind of trying to hold on, but they're not going to be able to hold on for too long. I also realized I need to focus on what increases your lethality. I was kind of just picking whichever one I felt like it, and it wasn't a good idea. I should have played that a lot smarter, but we got done with that. Now we can move on to virus, and hopefully we'll actually be able to finish this run out. Virus isn't too bad, or at least I'm gonna say it isn't, and then it's gonna prove to be too bad, and then, yeah, everything's gonna go wrong. I could very easily see that happening, but we're gonna hope it doesn't. You know, there's that. But yeah, now we're back to one of the ones where we don't want to kill people right away. But just for some reason, I guess because we were trying to do that for all these different plagues, I forgot the way of doing. Yeah, it's just bad. But now we can focus on just doing the right thing. I have the rest of the plan down in my brain, and we'll be able to get this run done. So I'm just gonna keep focusing on getting all this stuff. Okay, we got our first death. It must have mutated on its own, which isn't the greatest thing in the world, especially because we haven't gotten to Greenland yet. But hopefully they're just gonna send a ship over there. We'll be nice and easy. Come on, guys, just do it for me. There we go. We got the one we needed. And now, yeah, it's time for the end of humanity. Pretty much once you get Greenland infected, you know, hey, I can start killing, because they can't close down their ports fast enough. They're just gonna spread it. It's gonna get bad. Yeah, you don't know how long I spent just doing these over and over again and messing them up. I'm pretty happy with this run right now. At the very least, it's gonna be a completed run. I don't really see a way for it not to be. And you know, now that I say that, obviously for the next plague, for the last one, I'm gonna mess it up. But there we go. That's infected for all of them. And now the last one we have is the first one you're supposed to do, which is bacteria. Bacteria, similar to the other ones, Don't kill people right away. Be smart about it, get it transmitted first, get the couple of things like cysts, all that kind of fun stuff, and just hope that Greenland doesn't destroy our run. I do place a lot of my troubles on Greenland. I wonder if it really is the thing that's killing my run or if it's just something I don't understand. But I don't care because we're gonna get this one done. I'm not gonna not let it happen. Okay, I don't care about your mass panic. I'm too busy spreading a virus. Why would I care about a mass panic? I guess I'm causing my own mass panic, so it's gonna be a much better one. You know, if there are ever mass panics, just make sure your mass panic is better than theirs. That's some words to live by. Oh, we just got paralysis. It just mutated paralysis for us. That is not a very good thing. That's a little worrying. We really have to get stuff spreading now because that can affect us in a very bad way. So we're just gonna hope we can spread things really quickly. Be a nice guy, Greenland. Let the Rio Olympics come back on. We don't care. Let them happen. And how about you go to the Rio Olympics? That'd be awesome. We're getting a ton of points. Rio Olympics were a success. And there we go. Greenland has been got. I saw the little thing. And yeah, now it's time to go back on my murder rampage. I guess Canada and the US are doing all right now, but don't worry, that map's gonna get red in just a second. I'm gonna get some drug resistance up. I don't think they're gonna have time to get the cure. I think we pretty much just won this, and I'm not really too worried about it. I do want a bit more lethality. That's gonna help a bit. And if we can get it up to there, that's gonna mean everything's gonna end off soon. I think we infected everybody in the world, and yeah, that's going to be the run. I spent so much time trying to do this one. Thank you, finally. But there we go, you're dead, LOL, destroyed humanity, and that's a victory. And if we look on the speedrun.com leaderboards, we'll see we didn't get the greatest place in the world. But in my defense, there are only 3 people who have run this, and I don't think I can take my sanity getting any worse by doing this again. But I'd like to thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like on it. It really helps me with the YouTube algorithm, and I'd really appreciate it. Also, I do plenty of different speedruns on my channel, so if you're interested in that kind of content, subscribe. But enough chilling. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you next time.
It doesn't matter if you have 10,000 followers or just a few hundred. Print on demand is an amazing way to make money online, whether you're a YouTuber,
Twitcher, Instagrammer, politician, musician, artist, gym owner,
or even a dog. With Print on Demand, you can sell customized t-shirts, hats, and other items without worrying about printing, packing, shipping, or even paying for your products up front. Visit Shopify.com to learn more about Print on Demand and start your free trial today.
I have a challenge for all of you. Go to every computer in your house, your mom's, your dad's, your sister, your brother's computer, and install Honey. Wait, Mom, before you check out, do you have Honey installed?
What's Honey?
Oh, no. It's a free browser add-on that automatically applies coupon codes when you check out online.
So what's the catch?
There is no catch. My mom wants to buy these 3 jackets online. They cost $639. Before you check out, Mom, can you just open a new tab and then type in joinhoney.com. Now just click Add to Chrome. Perfect, now hit apply coupon code. Give Honey 5 seconds and boom, it found a coupon code for $221. We're literally about to check out without Honey. That is a sin. Install Honey. It's free and only takes 2 clicks to install. There's no reason not to go to joinhoney.com right now on every computer in your house.
So today we're speedrunning through Plants vs. Zombies, but we can't use sunflowers or sun shrooms the entire time. If you don't know, some plants are essential in Plants vs. Zombies because they produce extra sun, the currency to buy our plants. Without them, we have to rely on the sun that comes extremely slowly from the sky, and yeah, that's not very fun. So yes, this speedrun may sound impossible, but here's how we do it. Now to start off with 1-1, yeah, we don't even have the option to use a sunflower yet, so nothing to worry about. But in 1-2, we unlock it, and the game really wants us to use a sunflower. It wants us to use a sunflower so badly that we need to wait a full 50 seconds before any zombies will spawn because we aren't placing any. But after that, it begrudgingly lets us go. Then, of course, it's another easy level. Now as we move on to 1-3 and 1-4, we see our general strategies for World 1 to go as fast as possible. The first one is utilizing our mowers. These insta-kill everything in the lane, so we can ignore that lane for a little bit. Then the second strat is cherry bombs, which kinda just kill everybody within its radius. And once making it to 1-5, we get our first minigame level. Every 5 levels we get one of these, which is a great break from the game that is some plantless speedrunning. And this one's bowling. It's a fun time. But after that, the next 4 levels are pretty much all the same. We plant pea shooters on every lane, use our newly unlocked potato mines to kill stronger zombies, and cherry bomb the last wave. We also get to do this pretty cool strategy where if we let a zombie in the second to last wave make it to a mower, no zombies in the final wave will spawn in that lane. In some situations, we can use that to make our cherry bombs more effective, and it's a nice little trick to use. We finally have one more minigame on 110 where we get to place plants that we get from the conveyor belt and move on. But then we get to World 2, which houses night levels. These levels don't produce any natural sun, and you can only get additional sun through sun shrooms, another banned plant. And yeah, this might have made our challenge impossible if it weren't for this, the puff shroom. Puff shrooms are plants that can only be used during nighttime and have a limited range of 3 tiles, but they're free. So our strategy for the next 4 levels is to spam these guys. Luckily they have a very low cooldown, so we can place a lot within a relatively short amount of time. They also do the same damage as a pea shooter, so they're actually able to take care of fairly strong opponents. Then once we make it to the last round, we let the bigger groups go to the mowers. It works surprisingly well as long as we're paying attention, and if there's something a little too strong, we always have our 25 cost potato mines since we start each level with 50 sun. We use this strategy until we make it to 2-5 and get my favorite minigame where we just whack zombies. It's great. After the level, we'll also buy a 7th plant slot when presented with the option. Oh yeah, coins were introduced in this world to buy upgrades, and while that's not important now, it will be later. But you know what doesn't cost any money? Subscribing to the channel if you enjoy the content. But anyways, we use the exact same strategy for 2-6 and unlock the Scaredy Shroom. This only costs 25 sun and can shoot throughout the entire map. So we want to put 2 of these in the most vulnerable spots of the map, which are where the most graves are located. After that, 2-7 is a breeze, but 2-8 is where the game gets a little more scary. 2-8 introduces disco zombies. These guys have the power to spawn more zombie backup dancers around them and dance with them. Then, if any backup dancers die, they'll spawn more. This is scary because our main strategy for the last wave has been lawnmowers. But if we lawnmower a lane with backup dancers before the dancing zombie, he'll spawn more. We really need to focus on stalling the other lanes and killing this one first. 2-9 has the same problem, but more graves and zombies in the final wave. I got really bad RNG and suffered my first restart in the run. Oh yeah, in this run, RNG is so bad, even the world record needs to restart a level 3 times. So I didn't worry about it too much, as there were plenty more places that would probably kill me anyways. Thankfully, we only got 1 restart here though, and I dealt with them the next time, which leads us on to another minigame level where we do the conveyor belt thing and make it into World 3, the pool world. In this world, the game introduces a pool section of the backyard. This means you can't plant anything there before placing a lily pad, so it's another thing to worry about on top of our low sun count. At the very least though, it's no longer nighttime. This means we can't use nighttime plants in this section, but we're still going to take puff shrooms. They sleep whenever we place them down, but they're also good to delay zombies with. I'm so sorry. Anyways, the first 2 levels of World 3 are pretty easy. We place as many pea shooters as possible and use cherry bombs to finish out the final waves. It can get a bit scary at times with the zombies getting a little too close, but as long as we sacrifice our puff shrooms efficiently, we'll be fine. 3-3 is where it gets tougher though. This level introduces snorkel zombies, which are very difficult to deal with our limited sun. So we generally just hope we don't get too many in a row so we can squash them. 3-4 is pretty much the same thing, but at the very least we can use tangle kelps this time. These plants only cost 25 sun and insta-kill water enemies. They are insanely helpful for the situation and we'll be using them a lot. After 2 very hard levels though, Crazy Dave's shop opens up. This is where the coins we've been collecting come in useful, as we get to buy pool cleaners for $1,000. Pool cleaners replace the mowers by the water and actually kill all zombies in that lane. Finally, we have a saving grace. We then get another conveyor belt level with tiny zombies. Not sure why they're tiny, but it's easy. Now in 3-6, we start the trend of buying the rake. This is an item in Crazy Dave's shop that costs $200 and lasts 3 levels. It always lies down where the first zombie spawns and insta-kills them, giving us some more time to gather sun. Of course, we're buying this every 3 levels for the rest of the game. And with all of our upgrades, the next 2 levels are easy. We have Tango Kelp to deal with water zombies, Squashes to deal with Zombonis, and Pool Cleaners to deal with potential messes, so we don't really have any problems until 3-8, where Dolphin Zombies appear. Dolphin Zombies are really fast and jump over your first unit. We do have Tango Kelp to deal with them, but they have a bit of a recharge, so it's stressful. Thankfully, I've played way too much of this game, so I was able to deal with the next 2 levels, even if it wasn't the most comfortable victory. And then 3-9 was very uncomfortable as well, as I got multiple Zombonis. This was way too scary, but I held them off just enough to kill everything with my mowers. Not a fun one though. But of course, 3-10 was another easy conveyor belt level, so nothing too much to say about that. Now we've dealt with night levels and we've dealt with water levels, so why not combine them for World 4 and add fog? Yep, this is World 4, and it would be impossible if not for another amazing plant, the sea shroom. These are basically puff shrooms but in water. This means they thankfully cost 0 sun, and our challenge lives on another level. So you can probably guess what the next 2 levels are. Spamming. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But in 4-3 we get introduced to the worst zombie of this challenge, the balloon zombie. These zombies can only be killed by our mowers because we can't use any other plants to help. Luckily in 4-3 we only get 1, but 4-4 is complete RNG. Now we do use a big brain strat where we restart the level until there are at least 2 cone zombies and 7 regular zombies on the screen during the stream. For some reason this decreases the chance of balloon zombies. But if balloon zombies weren't bad enough, this level also has dolphin zombies. These guys are terrifying without much sun, and we really need to expend a lot of energy on them. Because of this, we plant some of our sea shrooms in the back and hope for the best. Even the speedrun notes don't have too much faith and say you're lucky if you beat the level in under 20 minutes. So yeah, of course I got insane luck and only needed 1 reset. Anyways, on to some nicer levels, we get 4-5. This time we break open a bunch of vases that contain either zombies or plants that we can use. Then we need to use those plants to take care of that wave of zombies. Not too bad honestly. Except I'm very dumb and for some reason reset on the 3rd wave even though I still had mowers. Seriously, not sure what was going on in my mind, but at least it only wasted like a minute. Yeah, my Twitch stream was yelling at me a lot for that. The next 3 levels are pretty tame as well. We basically use the same strategy as before and don't need to worry about balloon zombies. There are threats like pogo zombies, but with enough spam, anything will die. Well, except once we make it to 4-9, another completely RNG level. Yep, we need to pray for good balloon zombie RNG again, which is always a good time. But this one somehow finished after only 1 restart, and we get another easy minigame. And I actually love 410 because we get to strike back against the balloon zombies. Finally, we get the chance to use plants that hurt them. It feels so good after all the pain they cause me. We do have to deal with the annoying light flickering effect, but that's nothing after what I've gone through. And finally, after 4 hours, it's time for World 5, the last world. This time, the gimmick is that we're on a rooftop. Now the rooftop is interesting because there's a curve on it. This means plants like pea shooters aren't effective on it because they can't attack through the entire map. Instead, we get cabbage pults, which will be our main damage for the next little bit because they can hit anywhere. Our strategy is pretty much put cabbage pults down in every lane and keep building them up. Then, if we need to, we can use some potato mines to deal with anything else. We also buy roof cleaners before 5-2, which are pretty much lawnmowers for your roof. Then the next 3 levels are pretty easy. Just use a lot of cabbages. Honestly, not too much else to say about it. And 5-5 is another minigame where we get to chomp and cherry bomb. Like, that's all we do. It's pretty great. Now 5-6 is where we get onto the greatest strategy in the game. And this is because we get to buy and use this, the Gloom Shroom. So the strategy is we let the first zombie die to the raid, and the second and third to go to the roof cleaner. Then finally, once we get 350 sun, we place a pot, a fume shroom which we put a gloom shroom on, and a coffee bean so the plant can be activated in the sun. This thing is overpowered. It does massive damage to everything around it, and only becomes better when we place garlic. By placing garlic in this formation, every zombie comes right by our gloom shroom, but doesn't eat it. It's insane. Our only concern is the catapult zombies since they ignore garlic, but we can squash those pretty easily as needed, so this level gets done insanely fast. Then on the last wave we use a doom shroom with a coffee bean, which kills pretty much everything. Now 5-7 is the exact same, with ladder zombies added. These have a bit too much health for the gloom shroom to deal with, but we can place a pot to stall them, and they aren't too much of a problem. But of course, this happened. A zombie flew in and ate my doom shroom. Yeah, I was in pain. We did it right the next time though, and got to 5-8, where the problems really come in. This level includes Garganters, a zombie that doesn't just require one insta-kill plant, but two. They're actually insane. Now we use the exact same strategy as before, but there's a 1 in 4 chance of needing to reset because of RNG. No, seriously, if the Garganter spawns on the middle lane where the Gloom Shroom is, we lose. But because the Gloom Shroom saves so much time, and because this chance is so low, we do it anyway. When this doesn't happen, we can choose 2 options. If he's in a lane with a roof cleaner, we squash him early so he throws the little guy, and then let the entire lane be obliterated. If not, we just have to figure out how to use 2 different insta-kill things, but because we have so much sun, we're fine. We actually got both of these situations on this level, so at least I can show it off. Then 5-9 is pretty much the same concept, except we want to potato mine the second and third zombies, because losing roof cleaners early would be very bad here, as there are bucket heads in this level. After that though, everything's the same. And it's time for the final level, 5-10. Yeah, it's just another mini game. Not sure what you were expecting, but it's a very good time and a good chance to say if you want to see this full run or see future speedruns live, go check out my Twitch channel. I'm doing a lot of my stuff on there now. And also, thank you to the world record holder, Aaron the Winner, for helping me throughout my attempts. I appreciate it. But anyways, we beat this level pretty casually with our conveyor belt plans and finished the level as soon as the boss dies. Then we call time as soon as we pick up our trophy, and there we go. 5:59:47, which is a comfortable second place. It's also pretty funny because after this, we get a song by a sunflower saying how they're useful. You did literally nothing.
I write a lot of essays for school, but I also write sales descriptions for my Etsy shop.
I use Grammarly on my work emails and also on my cooking blog.
Grammarly is a game changer for me at work, but I also love it for social media posts.
I connect with candidates on LinkedIn.
My tweets.
Message boards.
My resume and cover letter.
Before I got Grammarly, I could sense that people didn't understand what I was trying to communicate in my emails. I was too wordy. Now, I get my point across clearly.
It's been so useful for school, but it might even be more useful when I start working next year.
You install it for free, and then it's just there helping you write better anywhere you type.
Imagine if everything you wrote was a little bit better and you wrote it a little bit faster.
Give it a try on any one piece of important writing, whatever it is, and see for yourself.
We're building a metaverse game where every single player owns a mech inside of the game. Players use their mech to all of them look different with different stats. They use to mine currency in the game to play to earn games. And then they battle in arenas and win prizes. We're releasing the first mech right now. As you can see, they all look completely unique, completely different. We're on our 3rd drop, and it's the last one that we'll be selling for US dollar. So if you've been interested in metaverse play to earn gaming, click over and check out what we got going on at mech.com.
Today we're speedrunning through Octodad, Dadliest Catch, which is basically a game where you're an octopus and also a dad. Yeah, there are going to be a ton of wacky adventures. And the nice thing about this game is it actually has a pre-built speedrun timer, so I can just start this, get started, and I don't have to worry about timing it myself. It's going to be great. But we start out in the beginning with our marriage. So we're getting married to a regular human woman, and she also thinks that we're not an octopus. She thinks we're a person. I really don't know how people make that mistake and don't realize that I'm an octopus, but I'm also not going to complain because I guess my boy just has to do his thing. And this game is basically about going through being an octopus, but not letting anybody find out that you are an octopus because that's bad, I guess. Which again, I really don't understand how people do not even like question this. Like, look at my head. Who do people think I am? But yeah, we have some pretty weird movement. If you've ever played this game before, you know what it's like. You have to move one of your legs, then the other one, and yeah, it's just like a weird walking simulator that you just kind of have to get used to. And even now, after playing this for way too long, I'm not completely used to it, but I think I'm okay at it. We're gonna get our tie, and that is going to be our look. We're all dressed up and ready for our wedding. I'm just gonna put this on, please get on me, Ty. There you go. We can open up this gate, which looks like you're going to a prison or something, which might be some sort of metaphor, but we're not going to talk about that right now. And I accidentally put on a hat, I guess. I didn't mean to do that at all. But for some reason, we don't have a best man, so we have to get the ring ourselves. And for some reason, the ring's in that box with a bunch of jewels or something. We put it on our wife, and there we go. We are now married, and we're done with the first part of the run. Then we get this entire, like, first opening cutscene that we just don't really care about, so I'm just gonna skip past that, and we're gonna continue on with our journey. Yeah, there's probably important stuff that was happening over there, but all I care about is a couple of years later when I have kids, and I'm a deadbeat dad, and I hate my wife. And that's the kind of story that I think I go for. It might not be what exactly is happening, but I mean, I'd like to think that this octopus is now a deadbeat dad. So the first thing we're gonna want to do is get some coffee. We gotta prepare that, put that in there, press the button. There we can go. And then we're also getting milk for our daughter, who is named Stacy. So I'm gonna get her some chocolate milk. She thinks that it will help her be 100 feet tall, which really doesn't make sense, but I guess it's a child. Can I please get through my limbs? Sometimes dealing with all your extra limbs, it's pretty awkward. And also, we got a ton of chocolate milk on our carpet. I feel bad for whoever's cleaning that, but it's not gonna be me. And now our wife give us our coffee. And now we're on our way to do the rest of the stuff we have to do in this place. First things first, we're gonna make some hamburgers, and all of my kids are trying to talk to me while I'm trying to explain this speed run. Please stop it, guys, okay? I'm busy right now, but I'm gonna cook these hamburgers. Hopefully they'll be able to turn out to something fairly good at the very least. Gonna just have to kind of make my way doing this. And yeah, as you can probably see, I mean, the physics in this game are just so weird, and you kind of just have to keep playing it, and that's getting pretty good at them. Like, I wouldn't say I'm perfect at these physics, but I'm at least a lot better than what I started out with. Now we're weeding her garden. Our wife's a little upset at us because we kind of just stepped all over flowers, but I also don't really care about that. If you're gonna ask me to weed your garden, you can't expect me to not also break all your flowers. And we have this one last weed. Please let me get that one out. And now we have to mow the lawn, which is probably the worst part of this game for me, because we have to get this lawnmower, take it out of our garage, and lawn mowing physics are just so weird. It's always weird when you have to carry something behind you. Oh, I don't even... Is this how you're supposed to use a lawnmower? And for some reason, our son also refuses to mow the lawn because he comes up with some excuses. So it has to be me who does it. And, yeah, there's some dialogue also going on in the background. I just don't really care. Like, I already have to be an Octodad, I can't worry about my children and wife too. I can't worry about their feelings. I have a hard enough job just not getting found out that I'm an octopus, which also probably isn't the best foundation of a relationship for me to just trick my wife into thinking I'm an octopus. But we're not going to talk about that because haha, wacky octopus game. I'm going to go here, take this wood cutting axe and get rid of all this wood. Okay, it's sometimes awkward to try to find the right piece, but there we go. That should be that part. Then all we have to do is put up this bird cage. If I can make it over there, please. We can put that back up. And then our crazy neighbor, who is a chef who just really wants to kill us for some reason, is trying to vacuum us up in his lawnmower. My family also doesn't even realize this. I don't know how they don't hear him yelling or all this stuff that's going on, but they just don't care. And I guess I broke his lawnmower. But anyway, now we're going to the store and we have to pick a couple things up from there after that near-death experience. I do wonder if that's like an everyday thing where the chef is just trying to kill me because he really seems like on me. But I'm gonna go up here. Unfortunately, the fridges freeze shut, so we have to make our way through this fridge section just like this. And oh, come on. Instead of just using the freezers regularly, I have to make my body go through here in the most awkward way possible. Go through the air conditioning vents. You know, we're just not gonna worry about what's happening right now, but I got the frozen pizza. That's all that matters. Next thing we're gonna have to collect is this cereal. And the thing about the cereal is this one woman also wants it. And this is my cereal. So I have to go up here so she can't get it before I can because there's a little cutscene she does. And there we go. We got the cereal now and she's going to complain about it. Okay, and next thing, I want to get up here if I can. Use my weird limbs to try to do that and get that juice that's up there. I don't even know what's happening, please. And I fell back down. That's so sad. So I'm going to have to move up here. If I can please make my way. Limbs, you got to work with me right now. Limbs, please. You're making me lose time right now. Oh, gosh. Come on. Okay. We're up here. And now we just have to lift our other leg and hopefully get that. Come on, please. This game. Right now, I'm losing so much time at literally the dumbest spot ever. Just trying to get this. Can I please stop falling? Okay, finally. It took way too long to try to get that juice and wasted me a tiny bit of time. But it doesn't matter because we got it in the end. Now we have to go get an apple. And for some reason, we came to this store to get a singular apple. It's not like we're getting a couple. All I want is this one yellow apple for some reason. If I can please grab Octodad, please. You're grabbing the wrong apples. There you go. You got it. I don't know who comes to a grocery store and gets only one apple. Kind of, especially when I have an entire family to feed. But I guess that's what I'm doing. And the last thing that I'm gonna need to get is some chocolate milk. Excuse me, sir, you're in my way. Oh yeah, one thing you also might notice is no one is noticing me right now. Normally in Octodad, people will notice you and be like, oh, what is he doing? He doesn't look like a human. But we're actually playing on easy mode, which makes it pretty much impossible for anyone to notice you. And it's nice for me, especially in the later game. But we do have the chef who does notice us. And now, again, he's trying to murder us, so we have to run away. I don't know why this guy is so bent on trying to literally murder us. I have an entire family, and you're just trying to get, like, chill out, dude. But we lock him in there. We can get away. Our wife's like, oh, where were you at? Wife, you don't have to worry about it. I'm not talking to you. Like, we're a person that just doesn't talk about our relationship with our wife, and she gets a little upset at that, but I mean, I'm just an octopus trying to live my life. What do you expect from me? So we have to scan all of these items. All we have is this frozen pizza left, and there we go. And we can leave the grocery store. A little bit longer than I would have liked to take, but whatever. And our wife, this terrible person, decides to take us to an aquarium, even though I have told her multiple times I don't want to go to the aquarium. But she just doesn't listen to us and makes us go here anyway, which honestly is kind of a terrible thing to do. Limbs, come on, let me put my ticket there. I cut in line because I don't really care about anybody else. I'm trying to get my own ticket. I don't, you know, you guys can wait a second. Yeah, our wife is just taking us to this aquarium, even though it very obviously makes us uncomfortable. Yeah, it's kind of terrible. Also, those are marine biologists that usually will notice you if you're not good about it. But the thing is, because I am playing on easy mode, they just don't notice me doing anything. And that allows us to skip a lot of the game and just not have to worry about these people. It's kind of hilarious when you play on easy because you have all these people that like make fish comments and are like, why does something smell fishy? But they just don't notice this octopus guy running around. Yeah, I don't really think you can question this game. You just kind of have to accept what's happening. And now we have to do some learning. Basically, in the aquarium, there are 3 different mini games we have to do, one for each of our kids and then one for our wife. So we start out with this guy's mini game where we have to press all of these things, and it gives us these. So like right now I have to press the red ones, before that I had to press the green ones, and we have to rotate this cube to try to get them all. And where is this? Okay, there's some yellow ones. We need 1 more of those, and then we can get the purple ones and try to be fast about it. I only need 2 more purple ones, but this thing is so weird to control. Please give me the last 2. I need 1 more. That's it. Okay, and there we go. 27 seconds. Not the greatest time, but that's gonna be okay. And our son's kind of a terrible person. You might have just seen him push that one girl in the slide without even caring about her. That is something that our son just did, and he's also gonna do it another time in case he missed it that time. But I don't really have time to worry about that because there are more mini games I have to do, like this thing where we have to uncover this, and yeah, it's just a bunch of learning stuff. Unfortunately, we have to get our son to learn instead of just being lazy, which seems like a much easier thing to do for me. But I have to press the top of this, which normally you have to do other stuff, and our son just completely pushed us there. That was really rude of him. And now we have to get all these kelps into their respective places. We have to get 2 of each kind into each of these cylinders. So we got that one there, and yeah, this part is kind of awkward, I'm not gonna lie, especially with these. Please just get them in. Son, you have to help me more. You're doing terrible throwing jobs. Okay, I'm just gonna do this the other way. He's taking too long. He is terrible at his job, so I guess I have to make my job just making this stuff go in awkwardly. So we're gonna do that, take this other blue one and try to put it in there, and that is going to be that many games. And then finally in this area we have to power the sun for some reason, so we're running on this hamster wheel. Yeah, this is a image that will probably get lost in your head forever. You're probably never forgetting that. But here goes our son. He's about to push another person down the slide. Dude, what is wrong with you? But I'm not gonna worry about that because I guess he's allowed to be a terrible person, and we're just his dad. We won't reprimand him or anything. But while he plays a game, I'm just not gonna play with him. So he's gonna play this entire game where you can try to block these sea urchins with the otter. And you know, it's a pretty fun game, but I'd rather just sit here instead and watch him. I'm not gonna play with my son after all the things he's done to me. He can do this by himself. So he's just gonna keep playing soccer. Eventually it's gonna end, and now we can move on to the last part of this little area. So for this last little part, we're gonna move up here, and what we have to do is kind of climb up this entire thing, which you have to be a little bit careful about because it is very easy to fall down. Come on, please. There we go. And then we can make our way up here, which again, this part is really awkward with your limbs. You can just see everything that's going on. I can't even, half the time I can't even tell what's going on, I'll be honest. We can make our way down here, finish out. Oh, look, another octopus. I'm just not gonna worry about that. And now we can make our way up into this hole, which is kind of awkwardly that we have to get into. Please, leg. There we go. That should get us up there if my legs will cooperate, and we can end off the level with that. And finally, we're done with this kid's section. I spent so much time with him, and finally we finished. Thank you. You know, that is the most annoying one out of them all. And actually, now that I think about it, the other ones are very annoying too. This entire section is. Why did my wife have to take me to the aquarium? Why couldn't she just let me live my life? Why does she not care about my feelings? But I guess I also don't care about her feelings because, I mean, I am an octopus pretending to be a human and just never told her. That's kind of a terrible thing to think about it, but we're just not gonna think about it. Instead, keep playing Octodad. So in this area, we're doing it with our little daughter, and the first thing we have to do is all the lights went out and we have to play some Dance Dance Revolution game. So we have to press on all of these different buttons as they show up. So like right there, we'll press on there, and you got to keep doing this until you fill the gauge all the way up until you can continue on with the level. So I'm just trying to get all of these, and yeah, it's not really a time thing. You can take as much time as you need, but this is a speed run, so we're trying to hit these as fast as possible. These do fall away, but yeah, like I said, you can take forever, and yeah, it just will keep going. But I don't want to do that. This is a speed run, you know? I'm trying to go fast, even if I have to deal with all my Octodad limbs. We only need one more at this point. There we go. We can finish out there. Our daughter's like, oh, Dad, please help me. I'm so scared, but I also don't really care. I'm just gonna leave her. She's gonna keep complaining, and again, I just don't care. Like, daughter, you can complain. I'm going to the end. I'll meet you there. And we're just gonna hang out by this guy who can see us, but again, it's easy mode. He just doesn't care about blatantly knowing we're an octopus for some reason. And while it says lead Stacy through the jellies, eventually she's just gonna catch back up to us. So there we go. She comes and she's like, oh, you're scared of that guy. Give me the light and I'll distract him. So we're like, okay. And we have to give her the light. Here, please take it. So she takes it, and either way, we just go right in front of him because again, it's easy mode and we don't care about that. If it was a harder difficulty, then we actually would have to care about not getting seen by them. And now we have to light up all of these lights. We go in the maintenance room, and I don't understand why this is my job, to be honest. Like, Like, why am I the person who has to do this? I feel like the aquarium should have this fixed already, but for some reason it's me, Octodad, that has to do it. And this part is really awkward too, because there are all these different things and you can get caught up really easily in that, and all of your limbs can just get all over the place. But we actually did that really fast, so I'm surprised by that. And now we just have to light up the monster. So we'll start with that eye, go over here, get that over there for 3, and then finally we can get the first eye if I can actually do that. And there we go. We got that guy lit up and we can go to the end. And yeah, while we thought it was a scary monster, it's actually the cuddly snugglefish. Hooray. Haha, what a great joke. Hey daughter, hurry up. And now for some reason, these escalators are going the wrong way, which really makes no sense, but whatever. I guess we have to go to the top of them, which we have to climb awkwardly with our limbs so we can press the button and make sure they go the right ways. Yeah, this doesn't really make sense, but I guess I can't really be asking for a game that makes sense when I'm playing Octodad. Like, what am I really asking for? But there we go. We're gonna press the buttons, allow Stacy to go through them, and we can leave. And then finally, the last thing we have to deal with in this little area is our wife. So she's gonna be over here in the arcade for some reason, and what she really wants to do is talk about our marriage problems, but instead I'm just gonna play a lot of fun games. So we have to get 7 different prizes for her to continue on. I'm gonna steal this guy's basketball. He was just having a good time playing, but instead I'm just gonna cheat and win this way. Look, why would you play the game the way you're supposed to when you can just be an octopus? This is so much better. If we put that in 6 times, we can leave this area, get another prize right there. Do this one as well, where we pump up this fish thing, and yeah, I don't even know why this is a mini game to win a prize at. I feel like pretty much anybody can do this thing, but whatever. That's going to be another prize, and we can start collecting them. Like I said, we need a total of 7 different prizes to give to Scarlet. We can start out with this one, and she's gonna be like, oh, we can finally talk, the kids aren't here, but no, I'm not talking to you. I'm just gonna play some fun mini games. Like, she's really talking about some important things for our marriage, you know, some things where I don't really talk to her. I'm the worst husband ever. She thinks I might be an octopus, but I'm just not gonna talk with her and instead ignore the problems and give her prizes. Because, you know, why would you need to have a good marriage when you can have stuffed animals? So that is going to be our 4th prize. We can try to make our way out of here, which is a very awkward thing to do. Please let my legs get over there. Okay. They really like getting stuck on things. It's so awkward for me. And then we can do this one as well, where we have to hit all these different fish. And this one's kind of awkward to do with your different limbs, but we only need to hit 4 of them. And I just have to not be terrible, please. One more. That is going to be 4, and we can move on to our next thing instead of focusing on that, where I'm going to pull this thing all the way up to 4. So that should be able to give us 2 more prizes right there. And we can go into this claw machine, and instead of doing the actual claw machine, again, we're just going to cheat because, like, why would I do this? I'm an octopus. I don't know why they made this arcade so easy to cheat in. I feel like that's the problem with the people who made the arcade, not me. Look, don't hate the player, hate the game. I'm just trying to get prizes for my wife that she does not want at all and is throwing on the ground right now. But hey, this is probably the best way to save my marriage, isn't it? Yeah, it seems like it. But oh no, now the tank right here has sprung a leak. And for some reason, instead of getting like a maintenance person to fix it, I have to fix it. So I have to go over here, put my hand there to make sure that it gets sprung. But oh no, now there's a bigger leak. So my wife, all the prizes I just won, she throws and says, use these instead. Is this how little you appreciate me? I have to use all these prizes that I just won for her and use this to plug up this tank, which I'm kind of offended about. Even if I was using them to ignore talking about our marriage, I worked really hard to get all these prizes. The least you could do is appreciate them, okay? But there we go. We fixed the leak, and now we can leave. And that is going to be pretty much the aquarium section of this run. All we have to do is awkwardly make our way out there with that really weird look on our face. And there we go. Now our wife's like, oh, if you actually want to talk, meet me up here. So I guess that's what we're going to do now. I mean, to be honest, I don't really want to talk. Instead, I'd rather just win more prizes, have fun at the arcade. But I guess you got to do what you got to do in a marriage. So we can make our way up this really long staircase that is right here. And yeah, this is how you climb stairs. But there we go. We made it to the end. We can finally go talk to our wife. But there's a gigantic plot twist in that this isn't our wife. It's actually a mannequin of our wife or something. But we don't get to see that because we skipped the cutscene. And then we go back in time. So now we get to learn the backstory of Octodad, which is basically I got up on the ship and then I just decided to be an Octodad. Like, I got on the ship, I could just move like this, and now we're just trying to become the captain of the ship. And the thing is, for this, I skip like most of the game. There's some things you can do, but I choose to just skip it because that seems much easier. Also, I just messed up right there. That's kind of sad. I'm gonna waste a tiny bit of time. But let me just move my leg up there, try to climb these stairs. I don't know how these sailors do not see that anything is wrong. Please let me get up there. It is so hard to control myself. Okay. finally, we're able to get up there. I'm gonna go right here just so we can get a checkpoint in case I die right here, because here's where we do pretty much the biggest skip of the run. Now, the speed run I'm doing is any percent glitchless, but this skip does not count as a glitch. This is more of just, yeah, basically a skip. If I can get it, and oh, barely got it. We got the skip, and that skips like most of the ship part. So now that I'm in this area, everybody thinks that I'm the captain. Normally, you would have put on the captain's clothes, so they would have been like, oh, captain, but, you know, instead I'm just an octopus. But because I'm in an area where the game thinks I'm the captain right now, it kind of just accepts it. But hey, look, there's our wife. She's kind of cast away on this boat, just like I am, so I'm gonna go and save her. We can break that thing using this, go all the way out there to see our wife, and can I please stop holding on to that? Again, all these people, for some reason, think that I am the captain. I don't know how this is happening. Also, please move box things. Oh, this is so awkward. I'm trying to move all my limbs, but it just won't let me. Okay, and now this is I'm very stuck right now. Kind of just slowly going through there, but there we go. We made it, I guess. My game does not like what I'm doing right now, but now we can finally meet our wife for the first time. She's like, oh, it's the captain. But again, I'm just an octopus. I don't even look like the captain. I don't have any clothes on. It's kind of funny how much this just breaks the game, but I mean, it works. I'm just trying to speedrun, okay? The chef that we know from the beginning is the chef on the ship, and he's like, oh, you're an octopus. And the reason why he hates us so much is because we kind of just ruin his life. Like, we literally try to murder this man. We hit him with a boat into the ocean off of the ship where he was working. Actually, now I can kind of see why he doesn't like us. But anyway, now we're back in the present, and it's time to go and find our family. So this is pretty much the auto scroller section. You kind of just press the button to move over and over again, try to escape things. And normally this is a pretty cool section because like you're trying to escape the sharks and all that, but it's really not for us. We don't even see the sharks because this is the fastest way to do it. All you have to do is repeatedly press the button instead of kind of like winding up your charges. And yeah, you get this entire area where you get to see a bunch of things through the aquarium. It's a pretty cool area, but again, it's basically an auto scroller. We do get this area where we have to be a little specific about, where we have to go through these things. So I have to charge that up right there, charge up right there, get a concussion, but it's okay because a mild concussion never hurt anybody. And I guess multiple mild concussions never hurt anybody, but we're just gonna keep getting our unfortunate concussions. I mean, I guess we're an octopus already. What's the worst that can happen? I don't really know what I'm trying to get to right now, but now we have to get through this fan part. And this part's also really annoying, trying to get the cycle. We go back through here, and then right there, we start getting chased by the shark again, but we also don't really see him because we're going too fast. And now we're in the place with dolphins, so they're like, oh, we're dolphins. We don't like sharks. We'll help you. And there we go. We're pretty much done with this area. Yeah, to be honest, there's not too much to say about it. I'm just violently pressing my A button and hoping that this ends faster. But there we go. We made it to the end. We see our little daughter right here in this cutscene, but then the chef's like, oh, I have to talk to you about something. So he takes them. We have to go save them. So the chef cannot tell them that we are an octopus because that would kind of ruin my family. I mean, if I was Octodad's wife and he never told me that he was an octopus, I would probably be pretty upset. Just lying to me our entire marriage, like that's pretty awkward. But anyway, we can make it past this area. Okay, this is on top of me right now. Please get off. This is so awkward. I do not need to have this on me. I don't know what to do right now. Please get off of me, dude. We can make it past these things though. It's just like this thing is literally so annoying. Okay, we got past that and we can get past all the scientists because again, easy mode, they just don't care. Normally they'd be catching us and being like, hey, you're an octopus, but yeah, we can just kind of go through. And now we get to this final area where there are a bunch of more scientists, and usually you'd have to do a bunch of puzzles, you'd have to break a bunch of things, be pretty specific about it, actually play the game. But instead, I rather just feel like getting to the end of it. Playing the game is for people who are playing it the first time. This is a speed run, all right? I'm just trying to make it through as fast as possible for some reason. I'm an Octodad, all right? We can make our way, put ourselves in this tray return place, get into a cutscene where the chef is like, oh, your guy's an octopus, and they're like, no, he isn't. And he's like, yeah, obviously he is an octopus. Have you not seen him? And now they basically learned that I'm an octopus, so the jig is up. Also, did I just die? Are you kidding me? I seriously just messed that part up. Well, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to ignore that happen. Anyway, my family knows that I'm an octopus right now. My daughter always knew, but for some reason, my wife and my son didn't, and I really wonder how that's happened, because I mean, I would assume that my wife's seen me naked, but I guess I just don't want to talk about that. So we're just going to wait for this boy to come here. He's trying to attack us, but our son comes to our rescue. He's like, I'll save you, Dad. And then we get to this point where basically we have to stop the fire because yeah, the chef literally made the entire room go on fire. I was like, it's really awkward. Okay, now we have to use these awkward physics to hopefully make it through here. And please, we're almost there. Oh, and we did it. Okay, that was so close. Like, you're not supposed to do it that way. You're supposed to be way more careful. But we barely hit the place so we can get our daughter to go right there and hit that down. So I'm just not going to worry about it. It's time to finish out the game. What we have to do to finish this game is plug up all of these different holes with these fish things. So our wife is going to throw them to us. We go and pick them up. Please let me pick this up, dude. And then we put them on top of the fish thing. And there we go. That is going to be one. Then we can go over to the next one. Try to plug this up too. I am literally so close to the sub 30 minute. I just need this to happen. Okay, that's going to be 2. Please, Octodad, just work with me, dude. I'm not going to ask you for anything other than that. I just want you to finish this out. There we go. That is going to be 3. The chef does get overwhelmed and it's like, oh, what's happening? Blah, blah, blah. He gets hit up there. He gets stuck in this fish thing. But instead of killing him, which we very much should do because he's tried to kill me, we hug him. But we don't get to see that cutscene because that's the end of the